Brandon here. So, if you're new to my channel, thanks for stopping in. Give me a like. Subscribe would be even better. So, anyways, yeah, I'm still battling a sore throat. This is day 4. So, if I sound a little rough, I apologize. I know I look rough. That I know for a fact. But yeah, I'm out in the camper here. Just figured I'd take a few minutes. I want to talk about the title of the video here. They warned me. Who do I mean when I say they? I'm talking about my parents, my grandparents. I'm talking about uh, school counselors, mentors, people that tried to prepare me for life, and I didn't want to listen. And here I am, 52 years old, and I don't even recognize this as my reality. I mean, this is not anything that I had planned in my life. I don't know. I apologize. I don't know what messages are popping up on the phone for. I put the phone in airplane mode. So my apologies there. Hopefully we won't be disturbed too much there, but I just, you know, I don't think people understand the importance of mentorship, you know, having someone to try to guide you and help you. And if you're lacking in that department, you know, I'll give you an example. I have an uncle. He's very successful. He had a really well. He's retired now. He has a good retirement. It's not like he's like incredibly wealthy or anything like that, but he's done pretty good for himself. And this is my theory on that. The family that he came from, which would be my mother's family, they all struggled and had hardships, which I understand. I'm not judging anybody. Look at me. But my uncle, Rex is his name, my Uncle Rex, um, he looked up to one of his uncles. I believe his name was Jack. And he would have been my Native American grandmother's brother. That's where I get this lovely tan complexion that you see. I'm part Native American, Paiute Indian, Casharam, Utah band to be more specific. We'll get into that another day. That's actually a pretty good idea for one of my videos. I can kind of let you guys know a little bit about that. But anyways, so he looked up to Jack, and Jack was in the military, and so my uncle seen the benefits of the military, and and he joined. And when he was in there, he was excuse me, he was involved in basically like radio communication type stuff, and like I think he might have been an MP maybe, but I know that when he got out, it led to him being hired as a police officer, which is funny because his grandson, who would actually be my second cousin, but I consider him more of like a nephew, he's on the same police force today as his grandfather, my uncle, was 30 years ago, Richfield City Police. And again, mentorship, right? See, like he's seen that with my uncle, and but so it kind of rolls over. But anyway, so yeah, he's had a career in law enforcement that led him to be one of the head investigators up at the prison for the state of Utah. He had a good retirement. He was really high up, real important guy, you know. And I look at it and I know I could just, it's pretty obvious. It's because he was influenced by, by his Uncle Jack, and that mentorship was there. And, you can't always guarantee that's going to be the case. I had many people trying to tell me stuff along the way, and I just didn't listen. I thought I knew it all. I wanted to run around. I wanted to have fun. I'll live my life. I'll deal with all that stuff down the line. But yeah, as I say here telling my story, I'm serious, man. I'm thinking about several videos that I can put out now. I was a father by the time I was 19 years old. I could talk about that a little bit, becoming a father so young. I can discuss that in another video. A little bit about my family, heritage and upbringing and things like that. But right now, my message for today is, um, we when we look back over the years, and we reflect on those that tried to try to help us and everything. We need to try to pass that down, right? We need to try to do that today. Uh, it's kind of hard for me sometimes because I look at myself as a failure, and I think, well, what can I offer my children, my grandchildren? What can I offer them? Because materially speaking, I don't have much. Uh, so the only thing that I can do, other than offer them unconditional love, the only other thing I can do is try as hard as I can to give them advice and life lessons and try to direct them into a good lane. Try to just give them the advice that I didn't take as a young man, because they warned me. Boy, did they warn me. That's the truth of it. Hey, boy, you're running around having fun, but you need to buckle down and start getting serious about your career. You need to think about school. You need to think about the military. You need to think about trade school. You need to think about all these different things. If that doesn't work out, then you can get a job with one company and just try to climb the ladder as far as you can. These are all wonderful ideas, and I actually tried several of them, and I always had what now looks like an excuse or a bad reason for not following through. But I would just say that even though I never anticipated that I'd be making YouTube videos at 52 years old, and I would be staying with my mom and brother because my house was consumed by a fire, and that I would be single. I've been single for probably 14 years, right around 14 years. I haven't had a woman. And I was married 3 times, and I lived with 2 other women. And I never would have dreamed in a million years I would have gone as long as I have being single. I'm sorry. I'm scattered. I'm all over the place. That's just how I am. I hope that doesn't bother anybody watching my videos. That's just how my mind works. I'm all over the place, but I'm just trying to keep it real and have real talk and real discussions and stuff. So, yeah, hopefully, my throat gets better. If it doesn't get better by Monday, which is a couple of days from today, I'm probably going to go back into the doctor. Hope it isn't something crazy like tonsillitis or something like that. But they told me it wasn't strep, but I've had a sore throat for 5 straight days, so it's getting kind of taxing. But anyways, yeah, to anybody that might come across, my videos, I'm just going to keep making these. I'm going to keep talking about life. I'm going to get a little more structured and try to present my videos in not such a discombobulated, mess. I want to try to have a little more format to it and everything. But hey, y'all, have a good one. Peace.